My sister-in-law tried to seduce me while my wife is pregnant, so I made sure the whole family knows who she really is. I never thought I'd be posting here, but I'm completely lost on how to handle the situation. My wife Sarah is 7 months pregnant with our first child, and we're both incredibly excited about becoming parents. The pregnancy has been challenging, with Sarah experiencing severe morning sickness and fatigue throughout. Due to medical recommendations, we've had to temporarily pause physical intimacy, which we both completely understand and accept. Yesterday, something happened that left me feeling sick to my stomach. Sarah's younger sister, Emma, who lives nearby and has been helping us prepare for the baby, came over while Sarah was at her prenatal appointment. She brought some baby clothes and supplies, which was thoughtful. We were having a normal conversation about the pregnancy and how Sarah's been feeling when things took an unexpected turn. Emma started talking about how she's noticed Sarah and I seemed stressed lately, and she understands that the lack of physical intimacy must be difficult for me. Before I could even respond, she suggested that she could help me out until the baby arrives, saying it would be our secret and that she's always found me attractive. She tried to play it off as a logical solution, saying it would keep me satisfied and prevent any potential strain on my marriage. I immediately stood up and told her that was completely inappropriate and asked her to leave. She tried to backtrack, saying she was just trying to help and that it's not uncommon for these arrangements to happen during pregnancy. I was absolutely disgusted and made it clear that I loved Sarah and would never betray her, especially not with her own sister. Emma left, but now I'm torn about what to do. Part of me feels I should tell Sarah immediately. We've always been honest with each other, and this feels like something she should know. However, I'm worried about how this will affect her during the pregnancy. She's already dealing with so much stress, and finding out her sister made such an inappropriate offer could be devastating. They've always been close, and I don't want to destroy their relationship or cause family drama that could harm Sarah or our baby. I also worry that if I don't tell Sarah and she finds out later, it could be even worse. Emma hasn't contacted either of us since the incident, and I have no idea if she plans to spin this differently if it comes out. I feel angry that Emma put me in this position, especially during what should be a joyful time in our lives. Sarah and I have a wonderful marriage, and while the physical limitations during pregnancy have been an adjustment, it's never been a serious issue between us. We've found other ways to maintain intimacy and connection. What's the right thing to do here? Should I tell Sarah now, wait until after the baby is born, or handle this another way? I want to protect my wife and our marriage, but I'm struggling with the best approach. Has anyone dealt with something similar? Any advice would be deeply appreciated. Edit. Thank you all for the responses. I see now that I need to tell Sarah immediately. You're right that waiting could make things worse, and she deserves to know. I'll update once I've talked with her. Update. After the shocking incident with Sarah's sister, Emma, I knew I couldn't let her inappropriate offer slide without consequences. I decided to expose her actions to the rest of the family, ensuring everyone was aware of what she had done. I told Sarah everything right after it happened, and while she was understandably upset, she appreciated my honesty. Together, we agreed that Emma's behavior needed to be addressed publicly. We called a family gathering and made sure that our parents and other close relatives were present. When everyone was there, we laid it all out on the table. I explained what Emma had suggested and how it was not only disrespectful, but completely unacceptable. The room went silent as everyone processed the information. I could see the shock on their faces, especially Sarah's parents, who were visibly disappointed in Emma. Emma tried to defend herself, claiming she was just trying to help, but we weren't having any of it. I made it clear that her actions showed a complete lack of respect for our marriage and for Sarah. I emphasized that this wasn't just a personal matter. It affected the entire family dynamic. The fallout was immediate. Family members expressed their disbelief and concern for Sarah and me. Some even confronted Emma about her behavior, making it clear that such actions would not be tolerated in our family. It felt good to have the support of our loved ones as we stood together against this betrayal. Since then, Emma has been distant and hasn't reached out at all. Good riddance, honestly. Sarah and I are focused on preparing for our baby and strengthening our relationship without any unnecessary drama from her. If Emma wants to be part of our lives again in the future, she'll have to earn back that trust, if that's even possible after this. Thank you to everyone for their help and support during this time. On to the next story. I, 29F, went to a wedding with another man, 31M, while my husband, 32M, was ghosting me. Should I tell him? I'm really struggling with the situation and could use some outside perspective. My husband and I have been married for 3 years, together for 6. The past year has been increasingly difficult, and I feel like I'm living with a stranger. For context, My husband used to be very outgoing, loving, and we'd regularly go on dates, spend time with friends, and enjoy life together. However, about a year ago, things started changing. He became withdrawn, stopped wanting to go out, and would spend most of his time either working or playing video games. I've tried talking to him countless times, suggested counseling, planned dates, but he either makes excuses or just shrugs it off saying everything's fine. The situation that's eating at me happened 2 weeks ago. My college friend Sarah was getting married, and I had RSVP'd for myself and my husband months ago. I was really looking forward to it. We haven't been to a social event together in ages, and I thought it might help spark something. 3 days before the wedding, I reminded him about it. He immediately got upset, saying he never agreed to go when he definitely did, and that he had no interest in wasting time at some stupid wedding. When I tried to discuss it calmly, he stormed out of the house. He wouldn't answer my calls or texts for the next few days. Here's where it gets complicated. Sarah called me the day before the wedding, asking if I was still coming. I explained my situation, and she mentioned that her cousin James, 31M, had just had a breakup and was now attending alone. She suggested we could keep each other company since we'd both be solo. I was hurt, lonely, and honestly just wanted to feel normal for one evening. I decided to go. James turned out to be a perfect gentleman. We talked about books, our careers, and he was just present. Something I haven't felt with my husband in so long. Nothing inappropriate happened. No flirting, no touching, just friendly conversation and dancing in group settings. My husband finally returned home yesterday, acting like nothing happened. He hasn't asked about the wedding or where I was that day. I feel guilty for not telling him, but also angry that he put me in this position in the first place. Part of me thinks I should be honest about going with James, but I'm worried it will create more problems in our already fragile marriage. Another part feels like I did nothing wrong. I went to a wedding I was invited to, with someone who was respectful, while my husband was literally ghosting me. Is it wrong that I did not tell my husband first, even though nothing bad happened and I don't feel anything for James? He has started being a little more warm since the wedding, so I don't want to drag things back when they're starting to get better again. All I want is to have a loving relationship with my husband, where we do things and bond together. What did you think of these stories? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for listening.